What if there was a place in Washington state so mysterious that it's baffled scientists and locals for decades? That place is MEL'S Hole, a bottomless pit that seems to swallow everything thrown into it. Recently, drone footage uncovered something so shocking inside the hole that the government quickly erased it and shut down the investigation. What did they find, and why was it hidden? Stick around, because this discovery could change everything we thought we knew about MEL'S Hole and its dark secrets. MEL'S Hole is one of those eerie legends that has sparked curiosity and debate for decades, largely because of the strange and unexplained phenomena linked to it. Located on a remote property near Ellensburg, Washington, it is a perfectly round, cylindrical pit with bizarre physical properties. For years, whispers circulated about this bottomless hole deep in the Washington forests, frightening those who dared to believe. Now, after all this time, a team of scientists has used advanced drone technology to investigate what lies beneath. What exactly was captured in the depths of MEL'S Hole? Although some confuse it with the Devil's Hole, the legend of MEL'S Hole remains one of Washington State's greatest mysteries. For as long as locals can remember, stories of this strange pit have circulated in bars, around campfires, and among hunters. Many claim that animals refused to go near it, and old-timers tossed objects into it as children, yet never heard anything hit the bottom. The strange stories surrounding MEL'S Hole have always seemed like nothing more than folklore. But what if they're more than just myths? With cutting-edge technology like drones now available, scientists are finally able to investigate this eerie pit, possibly turning a long-standing legend into undeniable reality. But before modern technology could probe its depths, the world first heard about MEL'S Hole in the most unexpected way. A single phone call that would ignite one of the strangest mysteries ever broadcast on live radio. In the winter of 1997, a man named Mel Waters made a phone call that would change everything. Calling into the late-night radio show Coast to Coast AM, hosted by Art Bell, Mel revealed something that sent shockwaves through the paranormal community: a bottomless pit in Ellensburg, Washington, unlike anything the world had ever known. Mel wasn't just making wild claims. He said he had spent years studying the hole on his property, conducting experiments that led to disturbing discoveries. According to him, the hole was at least 880,000 feet deep, so deep that no rope, weight, or measuring device had ever reached the bottom. He had lowered fishing lines weighted with bait and heavy objects, but they never hit solid ground. Even stranger, the environment around the hole was anything but normal. The temperature never changed, regardless of the season. Snow refused to accumulate near its edges, and animals instinctively avoided it as if sensing something beyond human comprehension. But the most shocking revelation? Mel claimed the hole possessed unnatural properties, phenomena that defied the very laws of science. He spoke of an experiment in which a deceased dog was lowered into the pit, only to return alive and completely unharmed. The radio audience was stunned. Was MEL'S Hole more than just an unexplored chasm? Could it be a gateway to something beyond human understanding? Despite its growing legend, there was no official record of its existence. No geological surveys, no maps, nothing. Even more suspicious, the land Mel claimed to own had no documentation tying it to him, as if it had been wiped from history. Then, without warning, Mel vanished from public life. His whereabouts remain unknown. This only fueled more questions. If Mel had fabricated the story, why did it seem like someone wanted to erase all traces of him? And if he had been telling the truth, what exactly was at the bottom of the hole, something so secretive that it made both Mel and his discovery disappear? As the legend of MEL'S Hole spread, it quickly moved beyond local folklore. Was it a portal to another dimension? The mystery grew deeper, leaving more questions than answers. But Mel wasn't satisfied with just witnessing the impossible. He needed proof. What he did next would not only deepen the mystery, but also attract the kind of attention that made it clear someone, or something, didn't want the truth to be uncovered. Mel Waters had always sensed that something about the hole wasn't right. It started with the animals. His dogs, normally fearless, refused to go near the hole. Even when food was placed right at the edge, they backed away. Birds never flew over it, as if instinctively avoiding something lurking below. But the real mystery began when Mel attempted to measure its depth. At first, he used a simple fishing line with a weight attached. He lowered it deeper and deeper, but the line never met resistance. Determined to find an answer, he upgraded to an industrial-strength fishing line, yet the result was the same: nothing. He continued lowering the line until he had unraveled an astonishing 880,000 feet, and still, the hole swallowed everything. This defied logic. The deepest hole ever drilled by scientists, the Kola Super Deep borehole in Russia, reached just over 40,000 feet and took decades to dig. What Mel was dealing with wasn't just an abyss, it was something that shouldn't exist. Mel conducted other tests, and what he found was even more disturbing. Electronic devices malfunctioned near the hole. Radios picked up bizarre signals. And sometimes, when he called out into the void, his own voice echoed back, distorted like something was repeating it from below. Mel and a group of locals decided to lower something unsettling into the hole, a neighbor's hunting dog that had recently passed away. At first, they assumed the body had slipped loose. But then, just days later, something impossible happened. The same dog was spotted near town. It looked identical with the same scars and the same markings. But it didn't respond to its owner. Its movements were unnatural, almost mechanical. Some dismissed it as mistaken identity. But others whispered that something had happened to the animal, something that brought it back, but not in the way anyone understood. But before we continue, I have a special 10-second request for all of you listening. If you can help me in any way, just press the notification bell and hit that subscribe button. It means the world. It really supports this channel. And if you do that for me, I promise my team and I will do everything we can to make this show even better for you. Deal? Mel Waters wasn't alone in his belief that the hole defied explanation. Long before his call to Coast AM, locals had whispered about its existence. Some believed it was a bottomless well, while others were convinced it was a portal to another realm. Regardless of what they thought, one thing was certain: anyone who had been near it had a story to tell. One of the most accounts came from an elderly rancher who had lived near the site for decades. He told that one night, while tending to his livestock, he saw something impossible. A thin, vertical beam of light shot straight out of the hole, piercing the sky like a silent, otherworldly spotlight. But what made it truly unsettling was that the beam didn't spread like ordinary light. It remained perfectly straight, almost as if it were solid. Another witness, a former construction worker, recalled hearing an eerie sound coming from deep within the hole. It wasn't the howl of wind or the shifting of earth, it was a low, mechanical hum, like the distant whir of massive machinery. Yet there were no factories, no underground tunnels, no possible source for the noise. Even more disturbing, this particular hole had a key difference from MEL'S. While it was the same 9 feet wide, its rim wasn't made of stone. Instead, it had a metallic ring embedded around its edge, something no one could explain. And then there were the objects, things thrown in that seemingly never hit the bottom. Teenagers had used the hole as a dare for years, tossing in rocks, sticks, and even old appliances. But no matter what they threw, they never heard a splash, a thud, or an echo. It was as if the objects ceased to exist the moment they crossed the threshold. One man claimed he had shoved an entire refrigerator into the pit, expecting to hear it crash against the walls on its descent. But minutes passed, and there was nothing. No sound, no impact, just silence. The bizarre stories didn't stop there. A retired miner who had spent his life working in deep shafts described an eerie sensation near the hole, like static electricity in the air. causing the hairs on his arms to stand up. Another local, whose family had lived in the area for over a century, believed the hole was ancient. According to her, the stories about it stretched back generations. But just when it seemed like MEL'S hole was the only one of its kind, whispers of another, even more mysterious pit began to surface, one that some claimed was never meant to be found. As Mel Waters shared his discoveries on late-night radio, new reports emerged from across the country. People claimed to have encountered other pits with strange properties, but one location stood out: the Nevada Hole, hidden deep in the desert. The legend of the Nevada Hole predated MEL'S revelations, yet it remained secretive. Unlike MEL'S Hole, openly discussed, this second pit was spoken of in hushed tones, as if even mentioning it carried consequences. Adding to the mystery were rumors of military involvement, unmarked black helicopters, armed guards, and massive transport vehicles frequently moving unknown equipment. Locals suspected a government-controlled operation to conceal something the public was never meant to know. Despite the secrecy, the similarities to MEL'S Hole were undeniable. Like its counterpart, the Nevada Hole was reportedly bottomless. Weighted fishing lines never hit solid ground. Those near the pit felt strange vibrations beneath their feet, as if something pulsed deep below. A former rancher recalled witnessing an unsettling event in the 1980s. Military men lowering a large metallic crate into the hole, using a crane-like machine. Strangely, as the crate descended, it made no sound. Other bizarre occurrences followed. A traveler passing through the desert before dawn reported an intense burst of light erupting from the hole, illuminating the sky for several seconds before fading. When he returned later, the site was abandoned as if nothing had ever been there. Speculation grew. Could MEL'S Hole and the Nevada Hole be connected, part of a hidden underground system? Or were they something even stranger, gateways to another dimension, or portals to the underworld? But as interest in the Nevada Hole grew, something happened. Reports disappeared, forum posts, newspaper articles, testimonies, all erased without explanation. Researchers planning expeditions were suddenly warned off. Some received anonymous phone calls, others were confronted by unknown individuals who seemed to know too much. One investigator, set to visit the Nevada Hole in the early 2000s, received a cryptic call the night before his trip. A voice on the other end simply said, "Leave it alone. You don't want to know what's down there." With the holes in both Washington and Nevada, the most pressing question remains: what lies at the bottom? And what, if anything, connects them? We'll dive deeper into the shadowy world surrounding these pits, exploring government cover-ups, hidden agendas, and the unknown forces at play. When Mel Waters revealed his discovery, everything changed. What started as a curious story on Coast to Coast AM soon drew attention from those who wanted it buried. According to Mel, the government moved in fast. It began with a warning. I agreed that everything was as it should be, that I wasn't with any news agency or law enforcement, he recalled. But then, men in black suits appeared. They weren't local authorities. They operated outside normal law enforcement. One of them, tall and intimidating, delivered a simple, chilling command: forget about the hole. Mel refused. The land was his. That's when the warning became a threat: if you don't comply, you will disappear. Then, the strange surveillance began. His phone line was tapped. Calls would drop, strange clicks echoed in the background. He was followed by unmarked vehicles. Black SUVs lurked near his property, and helicopters scanned the ground. One day, Mel returned home to find his land fenced off, armed guards standing watch. When he tried to enter, a soldier told him coldly, "This land no longer belongs to you." His home was gone overnight. Attempts to fight back were met with legal threats and bureaucratic stonewalling. Soon, every record of MEL'S Hole vanished. Local documents, maps, even newspaper reports gone. A cover-up was in motion. But why? Some suspect strange energy readings. Others believe something far more disturbing lay at the bottom. But just when it seemed like the mystery had been buried for good, a new investigation emerged, one that would use cutting-edge technology to probe the depths of MEL'S hole and uncover evidence even more disturbing than before. For years, MEL'S hole seemed to fade into obscurity, buried under layers of secrecy. But the truth has a way of resurfacing. In the early 2000s, Dr. Ethan Caldwell, a respected geophysicist, set out to investigate the mystery with a team of experts armed with advanced technology, drones, heat sensors, the electromagnetic field detectors, and high-definition cameras. The plan was straightforward: use drones to map the hole and collect data without physically entering the site. But as the team launched their equipment, something strange happened. The drone's footage quickly became distorted, screens flickered, and signals inexplicably cut out. Heat sensors detected freezing temperatures at different depths, while electromagnetic field detectors spiked unpredictably. Then, the most disturbing moment of all, a shadowy figure appeared just beyond the camera's range. It was too large to be a rock formation, and before the team could analyze it, every drone feed abruptly cut out. Attempts to relaunch the drones failed. It was as if the hole itself rejected their presence. Then, authorities quickly intervened, warning Dr. Caldwell to abandon his research. Officials denied involvement while making it clear that further investigation was unwelcome. Shortly after, all drone footage mysteriously disappeared from secured servers. Despite the lack of answers, one thing was undeniable: MEL'S hole was more than just a bottomless pit. The erratic energy readings, the massive shadow, and the unexplained interference all pointed to something beyond normal scientific understanding. The tension surrounding MEL'S hole reached its peak during the last attempt to gather definitive evidence. As the drone descended, its camera captured something unnatural: smooth, polished walls, far too uniform to be a natural formation. There were no jagged rocks, no irregularities. It was as if something had carved the tunnel with precision and beyond human capability. Then, the instrument started failing. Powerful electromagnetic disturbances pulsed from the depths, disrupting the drone's sensors. The team had prepared for anomalies, but this was something else. It was as if the hole itself reacted to their presence. At first, it was a flicker, a visual anomaly on the screen. But as the drone passed 10,000 feet, the image became clearer. What started as a distorted blur took shape. A hand suspended in midair, impossibly still in the darkness. Not a rock, not a shadow, a human-like hand, reaching, frozen in time. The team zoomed in for answers, but the more they focused, the more unstable the signal became. The drone's feed flickered and then cut to black. Every connection was lost. The team scrambled to re-establish contact, but it was no use. The drone, along with whatever evidence it held, was gone. Was the hand a remnant of something buried in the depths? Or was it alive? Could it have been watching them just as they were watching it? The questions didn't stop there. Why did the drone's signal fail at that exact moment? Was something, or someone, preventing the truth from coming to light? The expedition was abruptly shut down. Dr. Caldwell's team was ordered to leave immediately. Within days, all recorded footage was seized. The mysterious hand, the electromagnetic spikes, the lost drone, none of it was ever made public. What do you think was at the bottom of MEL'S hole? And what did the hand truly represent? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe and follow the channel to discover more interesting things. The day after the drone's signal was lost, everything changed. The research team barely had time to process their findings before government agents arrived, their vehicles blocking every exit. Then, everything was seized: cameras, computers, notebooks, years of research wiped away without a single explanation. But what could be so dangerous about a hole in the ground that the government silenced an entire operation? Even as officials denied involvement, the whispers continued. Locals still spoke of the pit in hushed tones, some claiming to have seen things that defied explanation. Some believed it wasn't just an anomaly, it was a gateway, a passage to somewhere or something else. If true, it would explain the government's desperate effort to keep it hidden. As we reach the end of this investigation into MEL'S hole, one thing becomes abundantly clear: the answers remain elusive. Despite the many attempts to uncover the truth, what lies at the bottom of that strange, bottomless pit remains a mystery, buried by government intervention and shrouded in secrecy. So what are we left with? Could MEL'S hole be a natural sinkhole, a geological anomaly that simply defies the laws of nature? Or is it something far more sinister, an experiment gone horribly wrong, one that the government desperately wants to keep hidden from the public eye? Perhaps it's even something far darker, a tear in the fabric of reality itself, an access point to something beyond our comprehension. Some theorists speculate that the hole could be linked to a secret military project, one that involves underground tunnels or even exotic technology. With so many unanswered questions and the bizarre phenomena surrounding the hole, it's easy to see why some believe it might be connected to a larger, more frightening conspiracy. But the truth about MEL'S hole may never be fully revealed. The investigation has been shut down, the research erased, and the one man who dared to dig deeper, Dr. Ethan Caldwell, disappeared without a trace. So why go to such lengths to silence this? What was so dangerous about the hole that it warranted a cover-up of this scale? The only thing that is certain is this: MEL'S hole is a place that defies everything we think we know about science, reality, and even the very forces that control our government. As we leave this story open-ended, we ask, what do you think is hidden at the bottom of MEL'S hole? Was it simply a natural geological phenomenon, or is there something far more dangerous and mysterious at play? If you enjoyed today's video, please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Your support means a lot to us. Click on the video that appears on your screen right now. I'm sure you'll love this content. Comment below about the next topic you'd like to see featured on our channel. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for being with us. Leave a comment, like to show your support, and remember to hit that subscribe button for more exciting videos. See you next time.